Castle reporting live from Next News with Next Auto Body. Today is a very special day here at Next Auto Body because we are visiting the issue of the 1965 Impala that came in as an interior restoration that has gone nextified. Why? Because this lavender, once 1965 beauty, is going full, complete restoration. And of course, Next Auto Body style. Speaking of which, Christian and I had a chance to catch up with the classic auto show of the world in Las Vegas this past weekend, where we saw a virtual carbon copy of this 1965 Impala, and it garnered a price tag of $125,000. This made Christian think, what about concepts? What can I do to make this car styled up, 2012 style, that really mimics what was, but bring it to what is contemporarily? And Christian is once again at it again. And of course, this car will most likely be entered into the Roman relics, so you've got to watch and see all the phases of this car, because this car will be a surefire turnout. Christian, let's talk about what you saw in Las Vegas and how you are going to incorporate all of that 1965 nostalgia and beauty into this car.
Well, basically, what it did, in short, it set the benchmark for myself and my guys here on what we need to do to make this car look just as good as that.
Because that was pretty impressive.
It was. I mean, the body lines, the body itself, the paint was fantastic. And, you know, a few things that I learned myself, you know, of course, this car was born before I was, so there's a couple things that I saw that were characteristics of the vehicle that make this vehicle what it is. So with that in hand, I'm gonna make this vehicle replicate what we saw there at the show, minus the vinyl top.
Which it had a white vinyl top, Next viewers, and you can stay tuned to see that live on YouTube for all of the latest and greatest of that replica version with the white vinyl top. But in fact, that was actually a Super Sport too as well, correct?
It was also a Super Sport.
And believe it or not, Next viewers, if you remember in our previous broadcast, this is a Super Sport version. So this was the car of that heyday.
Yeah, it was. And here again, like I said, now that we're getting into it, you guys can see that we're actually doing the body work to the car. What we're focusing on right now are all the body lines to get these things as straight and as even as we possibly can. And at that point, once we're done with this, getting all the body lines 100%, then we start getting the actual body of it to look straight, get the wave out of it. And then we go from there. We put primer, go into the interior, get the electrical all done, and get the motor running.
So let's just revisit that issue for Next viewers. How did this go from being an interior restoration to going full-fledged lavender color paint? Because I mean, this is a preferential color choice, number one, and not an easy one to come by. And how do you feel about mimicking and mirroring the image of what this was in 1965, but obviously better?
Well, this is a factory color. This is a color that people were able to choose out at the factory.
And still available?
Well, it's available when you mix it. You know what I mean? It's a color code. It all comes down to the color.
Okay, Next viewers, so there we go. See, it's available when you mix it. An example of what Next Products does, and when you truly nextify something, you get exactly what you asked for and then some. Am I correct?
That's right.
Yes?
Yeah.
So it's all in the mixing, and then basically that indicates that our master painter Elmo obviously has to be very, very adept at and skilled in doing that.
This is exactly what makes this, what we do here every day, an art.
An art, because it's about color matching. And my friends, color matching in paint is so formidable, and that's why the painter has so much to do with the beauty of the car, and then the concepts and the brainchild, being Christian Udaeta, has to do with why this car ends up becoming what it will become, which is very important, because obviously it all starts on the drawing board. That starts with you, and then from that standpoint it goes to Elmo, and you know, Elmo goes ahead and does all of his skill, which is making sure that that paint, if this is what the client wants, is literally a mirror image of that conceptual design via the client, Christian Udaeta. How exciting.
Yeah.
This is so exciting, and Next viewers, as you probably are aware, this has really engendered a lot of conversational piece, not only amongst the family of this car, the Hargraves, but as well as the Simi Valley community that come in just for auto repair, because it's lavender. And as you can see, I'm wearing similar colors. This was the color choice of the owner, Georgine, and her husband, Jim. She loved lavender. So really, Georgine and Jim, this broadcast and the phases of this car are dedicated to you because you truly are two amazing people. And Jim, thank you for sharing all of your stories about the wonders of this car and the beauty, the specialness that you held with your wife with us. Christian and I, it means a lot to us, especially Christian. Christian has really decided to take this to heart and make this a benchmark for classic work because of the story that you told us, and it touched our heart. So we want to touch yours. And that's why this car is going to be the best when it is completed. So next viewers, you need to stay tuned to all of the latest and greatest on this car and watch it roll out into the Roman relics next, auto body style. Christian, thank you so much. You did such an incredible job in just kind of apprising of us of what's going on, and also to enlightening us on the fact that this is really going to be a carbon copy of what we saw in Las Vegas.
It definitely is. I promise you guys nothing less than perfect on this thing. This thing will look fabulous, fantastic, and I cannot wait to have it at the show.
And how do you feel about it going to Roman Relics, just to close?
You know what? I feel great about it. I feel like, you know, just like at the chili cook-off, we had a Chevelle there that we had put a lot of time into it. It took first in the People's Choice Award, which, you know, was one of the greatest feelings that I've had in recent time.
Of course, People's Choice.
And I'm looking forward to this. You know, at the Roman Relics Car Show in Moore Park in August. It should be fantastic. It should get a lot of attention, and I think all eyes will be on this vehicle.
So stay tuned for this lavender beauty turned nextified. And of course, it already really has won the People's Choice Award because it has won the hearts of the Hargraves, and they are the reason that this car is here, and Georgine is the reason that this color is as magnificent as it's going to be. Thank you so much, Jim and Georgine, and to all of the Hargraves. When you think Nextified, you think Next Auto Body. When you think Christian's Custom Classics, you think Next Auto Body. I'm Rebecca Castle reporting live from Next News with Next Auto Body. When you think auto body, there is no other place in Simi Valley that is a choice. Stay tuned, my friends.